Well, welcome back.
Thank
How
you.
did it feel to just be out there on the mound? You talked about the butterflies, the excitement, moment. So how was it for you?
No, I mean, it can be a little overwhelming at times, I guess, but kind of tired myself out and then settled in for a couple innings. But yeah, that one's done. I think the ceremony of it is done, and now I can kind of focus on trying to be good and helping our team. So yeah, I mean, I wish it would have gone better. I wish I would have thrown 5 or 6 shutout innings and whatever, but it's done, and I'm happy to be back.
Stuff-wise, though, do you feel like kind of things were in a good place, and not necessarily focusing on results, but just the feel of your pitches and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, even the first 2 innings obviously weren't as successful as I wanted, but most of those were on 2-strike or 0-0 and kind of the last things that you can sharpen up, I guess. So I guess it was kind of the right kind of mistakes for me, at least mentally, and I didn't think there was 98 in there still, or 97 or whatever it was, but I think that helps. The adrenaline of being back. Normally I try and temper that, and I've been somewhat concerned about the velocity a little bit. So you kind of try and ride it and see what's in there, and I think the next one I'll probably feel the same and be able to temper it a little bit, knowing that it's in there. So I think I'll probably have a little bit higher expectations of myself my next outing, but I feel pretty good about coming out of it. Walk in and my arm can be fully straight, and I feel pretty good. So we'll see how it goes.
What was your reaction when you saw that there's 97, 98?
It made sense with how amped up I was feeling, or how fast my heart was going, I guess. So I wasn't super surprised, but you think about 22 months and kind of now 3 surgeries and dealing with that kind of stuff, and to be able to, I think the first fastball was 96, and I looked at it like, oh, okay, you kind of get that I belong here again thing, and yeah, it was cool.
So you look back at the scoreboard just to check?
Yeah, I look on about every pitch. I think I've done that probably forever.
Speaking of, so 22 months stuff is a long time.
Hmm?
How long did it feel for you? Just now that you're in the big league, 2 years before
Yeah.
in a big league game.
I don't know. I mean, part of that is the schedule, right? And I was pretty close at the end of last year, and it just didn't kind of come together the way we wanted. And you look at whatever it was, August, September to now, a lot of that's kind of dead time. And I felt pretty good for a while, but there's nothing like pitching in a major league game. And 1 or 2 of these I'll probably mentally kind of tell myself it's some sort of rehab start in some way. Obviously, I want to compete, and I want our team to win. And our guys obviously picked me up today, 2 innings in a row, and getting me out there kind of comfortable with the lead or tied or whatever. But yeah, 22 months is a long time, man. So there's some stuff that's kind of subconscious or unconscious even that you don't think about, that when you don't play you kind of forget. I don't think I held runners very well. There's little stuff like that kind of comes back over time, and no matter how good a shape you're in, games like that, I don't think I was so tired in the second inning, even though I feel like I'm in decent shape. You just can't simulate some of the stuff, and so every game hopefully we get closer to kind of normal.
With how competitive you are, is it hard to give yourself grace, right?
Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. I think having that amount of time off, some different things in my family, having a daughter, you kind of, I'm a lot happier to just be playing than I used to be, but I'm still just as competitive as I used to be, and it might even be worse now because I'm so happy and so mad at the same time. I used to just be mad all the time, but hopefully I get back to that, just being mad all the time.
You almost got projected confidence. How do you sort of manage that doubt that you kind of mentioned that you weren't sure it's still in there?
I mean, I think I could be okay if I was 92, 94, so I think I'm confident that way, but it helps a lot if I can throw 96 or 97. I'm very confident in my ability to do a lot of things with the ball. It's just, it's a lot easier for me to do it the way that I know how to do it. And so, the idea that I can kind of get pretty close to what I used to do, it makes it a little more attainable, I think.
Walker, now that you've got this one out and you're back, I know you set goals and benchmarks for yourself. What are you looking at for the rest of your year that you want to accomplish?
Same thing, I just want to win. I think for me it's always been being a guy that 25 other guys want to have the ball and we need to win a game. Whether that's just trying to strike everyone out or be efficient or innings or whatever. I think trying to fit into this rotation, especially with the talent that we have. I've talked previously, like we've always had talented rotations, but this is a little bit different, especially with the two guys kind of at the front of it, this being their first year here, and it's not as known as it always has been, and they've both been tremendous, and so getting Bobby back, getting Kirsch back, like there's just a lot of good things that come out of how much talent that we have and how close all of us are, how we kind of push each other, and so I'm excited for that, and I just want to be a cog in that. I don't think right now I'm going to be the number one on our team, and that's fine with me. I've been there before, and I'll obviously I'm there right now. But I would like to push myself closer to that conversation, and so whatever I need to do to help us win and to kind of get back to that, I think is what my goals are.
Walker, third inning, fourth inning, seemed like you were pitching more, right? 94, 95.
Mm-hmm.
You seemed like you were getting a better feel of your breaking stuff.
Yep.
Was that you, like, cognizantly, like, okay, I want to dial it back a little bit?
No, I just got
So
super
you just
tired.
kind of settled into it?
I just got really tired. That's about it.
Walker, were you able to hear the crowd kind of get up for you before the first pitch that you threw and just the crowd?
Yeah, that was cool. Their leadoff hitter, whatever antics there are, like he stepped out, which was kind of cool. That's one of the better things I've seen him do on a baseball field, at least for me personally. Walking in from the bullpen was one of the cooler probably moments of my career, just kind of the wave of people and whatever. So, it's meant a lot to me and my family to play here and be part of the success of this organization. And so to come back and kind of have that feeling again was really cool.
And Shohei hit a home run tonight. What was that like, just kind of seeing him in action with you on the mound like that?
I mean, I've been here. I've watched him hit, 12 of them or 11. Like, he's the best player ever. And so, we gave him twice as much money as anyone's ever made in this game, and he keeps proving why we did that. So, he's incredible.
When did you feel like you settled in? Was there a moment you were like, oh, okay, I'm back?
No, I mean, the whole time I was just tired enough to like throw it over there, and they hit the top of it a couple times, I think.
Walker, how much, you alluded to this earlier, how much thought did you give, coming into this start, I might have to learn how to pitch at 92, 93, 94, and that's okay, but that might be who I am?
Not a ton. I mean, if you really talk to guys that have been through rehab for like the way that we talk to each other in rehab, you never lose hope of when I get to the big leagues what the adrenaline will do, and I think tonight is a pretty symbolic reason why. I've really been 92, 95 in rehabs, and I was 95, 98 tonight. So that jump is something that you can't quantify, and so everyone that's in rehab will tell you it's not perfect right now, but I think it's going to be really good when I get back, and I've said that, and I've said that half-heartedly. I've said that fully convinced, just depending on how today's throwing went. But that's what happens, and I'm super fortunate and lucky that I was able to actually grab some of that and kind of work with it.
Do you think this will stick with you, or was it just first start back, but just this is what I am?
No, I mean, your body adapts to it, man. Your body gets used to throwing the ball hard, and that's why all of us, you could cut off one of our feet and we would be able to throw the ball. Your arm's used to that stuff, and so I think it's repeating it and hoping that it sticks in there. And yeah, if I'm 94, 95 consistently, I think I can get people out. Do I like throwing the ball harder? Yeah.
Walker,
Last one, guys.
this year's offensive support, you previously came from the dugout, and now did you feel it today?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty quick. They gave them a couple runs, they scored more than they did, and then, just inning, I kept messing it up and they kept fixing it. So no, we've always had great offenses, and you're somewhat used to it. Like, you're used to both sides of it. Some days you feel like nobody ever hits when you pitch, and some days you feel like you can't lose the game, and it's part of it. But we put together a lot of talent kind of on both sides, and we're very fortunate that way.
Thanks, Warren.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.